Hello, everybody. My name is Leanne Lamb, and I am the Executive Director of Contemporary Asian Theater Scene. Today, I'm especially excited because not only are we welcoming Asian Heritage Month and the month of May, but kicking this off is going to be a fabulous artist and book um, seller, as well as just a good friend. I am so excited to have Kenneth Tan here with me, and his new book that he just came out with is Crescenciana. I'm
That's
not pronouncing it. Is that right?
you nailed it, Leanne. That's right.
All right, Crescenciana. This is it's a beautiful coffee table book, but it's more important than that. It is a book that talks about heart. It's a book that talks about empowerment. It talks about a book of love and honoring your ancestors. And I am so excited to bring Kenneth. He is a San Jose native, a second generation Filipino, and he has come on this show with not only the background of being on StoryCorps, but NPR. What's exciting is he is also a Lee Weimer's Emerging Artist Award, who I think just the best of the best come out of that selection. But he enjoys drawing, puns, and three-line lists, which
Yeah.
is great. And Crescenciana is his first book. Welcome, Kenneth.
Well, hi, Leanne. Thank you so much. I love it. I love a 3-item list.
So do I. So do
Yeah.
I think you make it especially wonderful. Kenneth, this is a book that an art in the making. And I've been a fan of yours for such a long time. When you started putting pictures together and selling them in San Jose, there's a little, even this little fun thing. This is awesome. Could you tell us what this is and what it's all about?
Sure. I mean, it's their last dance. It's yeah, I think I titled it Dirty Dancing. It's the lift, it's the Swayze, it's the Swayze baby lift. So that came from, I think, gosh, Lola and I, we were making pieces around February. So we were doing like paintings about relationships, and I was asking her for, advice, and also a little bit about what does courtship look like in the Philippines, and was anyone courting you, Lola? And so that's where that came from.
That is adorable. Well, I happened to give that to my husband because I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Awesome. Nice.
Okay, your book, Crescenciana.
Okay.
It's absolutely stunning. I think what you do is that you took me on a real journey with this book, because I just felt like I not only understood more of the love and the honoring that you had for your grandmother, but also the fact that you are taking the reader on a journey. And I want to just open up with the foreword that you wrote.
Sure.
Close your eyes. Think of someone you love for a moment, and meet me back here when you're done. Welcome back. Are you smiling? Excellent. I'm dedicating this book to you and to whomever crossed your mind. That was absolutely stunning. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Thank you. Gosh, I think that dedication, I think that came to me, was one of the first things that came to me before I even started maybe writing the rest of the book, because I knew I wanted this to be as much of a conversation as possible. Like I imagined, me and whoever is reading the book being in it, like sitting together in a coffee shop, and we're just trading stories together with each other about our family and about our grandparents. And that's the tone that I wanted. And I also knew, just, from being out there and in the markets, like where we met, and meeting folks and sharing, my Lola stories that way with the pieces that we made. I also learned a lot about other people. I love, it just happened. People share stories with me too. And I love that. And so I wanted this to be, I guess, I'm so glad it came through what you said, that it's a journey together. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we basically got a wonderful oral history. And when you talk about sharing experiences together and doing things, can you tell us about who was Lola to you, and how did you spend most of your life together, or how did this book come about?
We did. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I've spent all my life with my Lola. She was my first roommate. She, I often joke, I'm like most people. I grew up with two parents, my mom and my Lola. So I've known her all my life. And I guess to answer your question, how this book came about, and you were saying like, what is she to me? She's many, many things to me. She's my grandma. She's my role model. I look to her still. I ask her for advice still. I wonder, I ask her what she would do in situations, and I call on her whenever I need her still. And I will always need her. The book came about because, I moved home. So I moved home. I was living in LA, and my mom called and said she needed knee surgery. So, I said, okay, I'm moving home, of course, I'm going to move back to San Jose. So I left my job, I moved back home. And then Lola and I, we got into a routine of just like watching Netflix every day. I think like I was like quoting Murder, She Wrote in my every day. Like, I was like, we got to do something else. So we were sitting at the kitchen table after breakfast. And I asked Lola, like, what do you want to do today, Lola? And she said, something that is for a purpose. And so I thought, I'd heard that people do sometimes, art therapy was a thing that seniors do. So I thought, like, maybe we'll try that. So I brought out some watercolors, and Lola made these watercolor paintings, and then I started to draw her memories on top of them. And that's it. That's how we started this art project called the Lola and Kenneth collaboration. And that's really where this book started. I said I would finish every painting that she started, and so this book is Lola's life story, accompanied by all of the pieces that we made together from like 2014 to 2021. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. One thing that I think I heard you mention is that she wanted to share the stories, but she didn't have one to share it with.
Sure. Oh gosh. Well, that just reminds me of something. Yeah, I remember I came home from college one day or one weekend just to visit, and I was trying to like study. I brought home don't bring books home when you're in college. You're not going to read them. Like, I don't know why we do that. So I was reading on the couch next to her, and she kept like initiating conversation with me, like, oh, you'll never guess what I saw yesterday at the park, or, oh, there's this new Filipino restaurant, maybe, or whatever she might said. And I think eventually I closed my book and I said, Lola, I'm trying to read. And she said, I'm so sorry. I'm just so happy to have someone to talk to. Broke my heart. So yeah, you're right. And I think that was one of those like light bulb moments where I said, okay, you know what? I closed my book and I was like, this is more important than what's in this book right now. Oh, there goes my niece and my sister. Hi.
Wonderful.
Cool. So I knew I needed a way to hold on to all these stories that she was telling me. And I just wanted her to know that she was heard. Yes.
Well, I think that is such a tribute and so insightful of you, because I think it's almost like cat's cradle. We're always too busy to pay attention and to listen to the ones that we love, and realizing how important they truly are to us.
Wow.
So that's a lesson for all of us.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, to your point, like there are still, I have a list of questions on my phone that I've always wanted to ask her. There are still things that I wish we had more time, and I wish I could have asked her everything. But you're so right. Like it's just so easy to not, not listen and not record and remember.
Yeah. And some of the I'm hoping that you can tell us a bit about some of the pictures that you drew, because I've been following your work for a while, and I find that this book is not only a great compilation of some of the pictures that I've admired for such a long time, and it's all in one place, and I can just scroll through it, and it just triggers different feelings for me, and not only just by the vibrant colors, but the amazing artwork that is behind it.
Wow. Thank you. Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. Yeah, sure. So I don't know. Should I
Oh, I would love if you could read
yeah,
a little bit.
read? Oh, should I read a piece? Yeah. Read a little.
Sure, that would be
Okay.
fabulous.
So this is from a chapter called Snapshots, and it's just, my memory is like Polaroids. Like that's how my memory is. I'm always impressed when people like read a book, a memoir or something, and there's like dialogue. Like people are able to recall like every piece or sequence of a memory. My memory is in, I guess, like snapshots. So that's where the title comes from. So this section is called Quick Pick. Okay. Quick Pick. Lola played the California Super Lotto as often as she went to church, weekly, which essentially meets the criteria for devotion. She had a clear plastic wallet for all her orange Super Lotto slips, and she carried them in her purse. I would watch her bubble in numbers on the slips and be reminded of taking exams on Scantron forms at school. How fun would it have been if we could have used Super Lotto slips to take exams? I could have saved so much time if I had walked into the SAT testing room and said, hey, I just went ahead and chose Quick Pick. I'm just being real here. Lola used to buy a few quick picks every week and let the lottery machine choose random numbers, but she also had a few sets of numbers that she played regularly that were combinations of her family members' birth dates. When I turned 18, she started giving me cash and sending me off to the neighborhood liquor store to buy her lottery tickets. And it always brought me joy whenever I would see that she had chosen the number 6. I'd think, that's me. Lola's betting on my birthday. I asked Lola once what she would do with the prize money if she won. She named each member of her family, her daughters and us grandchildren, and she said she would divide the money equally among us. She didn't include herself in the equation, and that struck me as odd. But then she explained that she wanted to win to make sure we would all be okay. Lola said she would divide the prize money, but even with 5 of us grandchildren, she never divided her heart. I never felt shortchanged in that regard. She never made me feel like a quick pick. She made me feel like a number chosen with intention. With Lola, I wasn't just one of 5. I was one in a set of favorite numbers that she would bet her money on any day of the week. I don't think it's often in life you meet someone who looks at you and sees a winning number.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Leanne.
I mean, the fact that you can bring humor into such a touching story, it's just beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Quite very nice. You know, there's some fabulous photos along with that. And if I could just sort of hold one up, can you tell us a little bit about this one?
Yes. Okay, so that piece is called Anihan, which means harvest time in Tagalog. So my family, Lola's family, our family, we're farmers in the Philippines. They grew rice. And so my Lola would tell me, gosh, about, planting rice. She'd be like, you're bent over all day. You can't stand up. You can't sit down. Your back aches. Oh, I miss it, is what she said. Yeah, she loved to work. She just loved it. And so, yeah. And so that's what that piece is about. It's about the harvest time, harvesting the rice.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, and I can't, I have to bring one image up because not only is, I'm wondering if you might have gotten some of your incredible dance moves and style and technique from Lola, or your spirit from her on that one.
That's super nice. Thank you. If I can cut a rug, that comes from Lola for sure, because she loved to get on the dance floor. Yes. So I mean, yeah, I just, I didn't even realize that until like hearing that from you now, like, oh, she loved to dance. Like that just kind of, that was a light bulb moment right now. And I like to too. So yeah, maybe that came from her. That piece is from so there, during World War II, there was the Japanese occupation in the Philippines. And so one day, Lola was like late teens, early 20s. And so one day she decided she wanted to go to a secret dance in a neighboring village. A secret dance. So she went out, she put on her dancing shoes and she went out to that dance. And she loved the tango. She loved the 2-step, she called it. I forget what the other ones are that she really loved. She loved a jitterbug. And so all of a sudden during the dance, someone came running in. They said, the soldiers are coming. And so everyone they just scrambled. And Lola, she jumped onto the back of a wagon and she just hoped, I guess, that it was going back to her. Somehow she made it back to her village. And she lost an earring is what she remembered. And I was like, girls still do that, Lola, at the club. So she lost an earring, and she remembers washing her dancing shoes when she got home in the river.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's amazing. I think, yeah, she is. You definitely have her spirit. And,
Oh, thank you. That take that to heart. That's very cool. Thank you.
One of the pictures that I love looking at is this image.
Oh, cool.
It's stunning, and it's within the grow category. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, that's, I want to say, the third painting she ever did. The first one was the piece called Pamelia. It's yellow. The second one she made is called Sampaguita. And then that's the third painting that she'd ever, when we first started painting together. And I turned it into like rice terraces, just to, call back to the fact that we're a farming family, and that's something that Lola grew up doing, farming rice.
Oh, the idea of you just opened the paint canvas, and she chose the colors.
Right.
Did you have a certain purpose or a certain intention of that, or just whatever came up to her at that time?
I think you're right. She would say things like, I remember she always painted, she was prolific. So whatever color, she would choose her colors for the day and then make a lot of, we worked small usually. So like 5x7 paintings.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time she did this whole like series of blue paintings. And I said, why did you pick blue, Grandma? And she said, the sky is blue and it makes me happy. So I think it's however she was feeling in that moment. And actually, so when I was sequencing the book or trying to figure out which pieces go where, I realized, oh yeah, Lola worked in kind of these like color themes. And so the book, it moves through color themes. It starts very brown and sepia. And I kind of, connected that to, the life in the Philippines when she was young. And then you move into kind of reds. Reds are World War II. The red pieces, the Japanese occupation. It moves into green and blue, and that's a time of growth, like the piece that you were holding up. It's from that chapter called Growth. It's about life coming back. And then it moves into like grays and lighter blues towards, the end of the book.
Excellent. And rolling to the blues.
Sure. Oh, there we go.
Stunning image.
Oh,
with a hand. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I was trying to picture the first time Lola saw snow. So she immigrated with my mom from the Philippines to Canada first before they came to the United States. So in Canada, I realized I found photos of Grandma like bundled up in the snow in Canada. And I was asking my mom about that, and my mom too, about like, what was that like coming from the Philippines? And then seeing snow, that must have been an incredible experience for her. And so I was trying to capture that in that piece, that first time she felt snow and saw snow and felt snow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole book, and I especially, I did like your glossary as well.
Oh, good.
That was really helpful.
I'm so glad. I'm really glad to hear that. My mom, I have to thank my mom for that glossary, because that's basically her. It's me calling her all the time, like, okay, Mom, how would you define? Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Okay, and I'm sorry. There's a lot of images, but this is especially beautiful. I love this panel. Oh my gosh, it's stunning and comical and humorous and adorable.
Oh,
can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, so thank you. So that whole series, all those yellow paintings, it's a family of bugs series. So the first one, the Pamelia one, that's the very first piece we ever made together. I remember, so Lola, she made this yellow painting, and I asked her, like, what is this, Lola? What can I do with this? And she said, they're a family. These are people who haven't seen each other for a long time, but they know each other because they're family. I said, whoa, okay. Let me draw something now. Like, okay, great. What do I do? So at the time, Lola and I, we were watching like a lot of Miyazaki movies, actually. So that was an influence for the characters, kind of. And I thought, okay, the way she painted the way she painted the yellow, the way she painted it, it looked like a branch to me. And so I thought, okay, I'll draw on a branch like a family tree, and what sits on a branch? I don't know, a family of bugs. And that's it. That's where that came from.
Oh, these are the most adorable bugs ever.
Oh, thanks.
When you come out with this T-shirt, I'm definitely first in line. So thank you.
Cool. Thanks, man. Okay, yeah, noted. I'll make that happen.
I know you take requests or whatever.
I do. Yeah, I do. Bespoke.
Yeah, Kenneth, this is an incredible tribute to Lola. And Lola and Kenneth I've mentioned this wonderful book to a lot of my friends, and they go, "Oh, I love Lola and Kenneth."
Really?
You have an incredible following, and it's not a surprise, but it is all over the Bay Area and way beyond. So, so congratulations on all your work. And yeah, you've brought such joy and insight. And also, this is a history book too, because understanding what Lola has been through and going through the Philippines and coming over. It's a story of immigration and the value and joy that it all can bring. So thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Leanne. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
No, it's great. So when you created this book, what were you hoping that people would get out of it? Because I obviously got a lot out of it, but were there other thoughts and hopes that you would have?
I think my hope was to connect with people and hope that I'd hoped that people saw themselves and people that they love as well in our relationship in Lola. And I really did hope that, I don't know, that we would connect in some way, that there would be overlap between our stories. My mom the other day, she was saying like, I don't know, is this an Asian mom thing, but she'll say things that are not intentionally offensive, but like, so she said, like our story's not unique. Like, but I understand what she's saying. She says, our story's not unique. She said, we're not the first family to suffer. So we're not the first family to suffer. Our story is not unique. And so I hope in some way, I said I wouldn't do this. I hope in some way, there's overlap between our stories and others, and that we connect and people see themselves in us and we see ourselves in other people.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, I definitely, and in seeing and reading these stories and enjoying it on so many different levels, I hope I know that people will also appreciate this. And as far as purchasing this book,
yes,
if they purchase this book at different locations, Eastwind Books in Berkeley, that's fabulous, and they can order it from your website as well.
Absolutely, yes. So they can order it from Eastwind Books of Berkeley, and my website is lolaxkenneth.com. It's available there, and I'll be sure to post which other independent bookstores it'll be available at. I've just been knocking on doors, Leanne, writing cold emails. Hey, pitching this book. So there are about 7 stores right now, I think, across the U.S. So I'll post those on my website. And yes, I mean, if you are near one of these bookstores, get the book there. We love our independent bookstores. Yes. But if you're not able to, then I am more than happy to ship the book to you. Order it through my website.
Oh, excellent. Well, I am so excited for the launch of this book. It's beautiful. I can tell that you put so much heart, soul into this, as well as Lola, and we can feel her and when we touch this book. So thank you so much for your work and creating this beautiful piece of art. Everyone, pick this up. Order this from your independent bookstore or through Kenneth's website. He has an incredible, he's on social media. You're on social media, and you can follow the trends and how this book evolves, because I think it has an incredible life.
Thank you so much, Leanne.
Thank you so much for your time, Kenneth. Bless you. All right. Take care.
Thank you. You too.